Welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in. LevelM Diecast today. Majorette action stuff that we don't get here in the U.S., but we are looking at it right now here in the U.S. Obviously came from my trade haul. This is limited edition Series 9. This is the black and gold limited edition. There has been obviously 8 previous sets for limited edition to Series 9. Each one has its own theme going on. They've done neon, they've done chrome effects, they've done color changers, they've done a bunch of other stuff like that. Now, prior to, I'd say probably limited edition Series 7, they were all just 6-car sets to put the set together. But since then, they do come in multi-packs, 5-packs, starter packs, all kinds of stuff like that, obviously. There's going to be more to Series 9 than just the 6 cars here, but these are the standard 6 models in the single blister. First one, we'll take a look at Audi Q4 e-tron. This is a relatively new casting. I don't think it's brand spanking new, but we'll take a look at it. Crack this guy open. Of course, just like with Premium Series, they do come with a little collectible card. That gives you some information on the model. Of course, it's all done in, kind of home market units. Of course, we don't use kilometers or stuff, all that kind of stuff here in the U.S. Eventually, we will have to. But for now, we still use our own little system we got rolling on. This is our Q4 e-tron. It does say E on the side with that e-tron logo. Looks pretty cool in gold. I like that. A little bit of a not-so-good wheel choice. But this casting is pretty nice. It does have opening doors. Really nicely detailed up steering wheel and stuff like that. Might be a little bit big, but at least the interior is very, very nicely detailed. Looks very, very good. Of course, lensed headlights in the front like they always do. In matte black for this one, the Audi symbol doesn't quite show up. It's part of the casting a little bit. There you go. Kind of see it in there. Of course, more E's along the top. That's the e-tron right there as well. I wish this one would have had opening hatch versus opening doors, but that's okay. Looks as e-tron in the casting there at the bottom as well. Q4. This one looks pretty good. Base deets. See if we get a copyright date or anything on here. It doesn't look like they do copyright dates or anything. So there is just the information. It says it is 1/62 scale. It does have suspension, of course, but the suspension is super limited. All right, next one up. This is the Toyota 2000 GT. This one also in matte black. It's got some gold wheels on this one. It's got the 3-spoke that they, kind of rock. I think it's a pretty good wheel. Hot Wheels has copied the 3-spoke. Now they have their own 3-spoke. There is the details for this particular model. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 8.6 seconds. So not exactly a fast car. This is our 2000 GT. This is my first 2000 GT. I do not have this casting, but I do have one now. It does have integrated mirrors there into the casting itself. Those are part of the metal casting, so that looks pretty good. It says Toyota 2000 GT on the side, number 33. Looks like that axle is bent. Axle is bent on that. Well, that sucks. That is a pretty rare issue to find a quality problem, at least in my experience. But that axle is bent, unfortunately. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It's kind of a bummer. It does have a opening hood. There is that inline 6-cylinder kind of in there. Not the greatest detail underneath the hood on most majorettes. This is kind of the way that they do it. It's more function over detail, I would say. But it's all right. It's all right. Prints look pretty good. There is the base deets. 2000 GT. 1/56 scale. So looks like it's got like 500 pounds of weight in the back of it. All right, a little bit of American flavor now. We do have the Dodge Charger RT, which looks pretty good. This one is also interesting because, of course, it is all in the metric system. So kind of interesting to see a Charger with metric systems. It is a 7,206 cubic centimeter. Cubic meters. Centimeters. Whatever. There is our charger. Get that to focus. I do apologize. There we go. Now, this is the exact same deco that was on the one that was in the race cars line that was in orange. I do have that one. They just did the colors in black and gold, but I think it looks pretty good. So they've all been matte black. So I think that's going to be the theme, is they're matte black and some pretty nice gold. This guy does have an opening hood. There is the engine detail in there. Of course, always difficult to get lighting in there. So it's okay. The detail's not all that great underneath the hood, but it has a functional hood. This guy also has a roll cage on the interior. Does have a full cage with a single seat in there. Pretty much impossible to see in there, but there is a single seat in there, which looks pretty good. This is a relatively new wheel as well, and then it's just bigger in the back. Smaller in the front. Taillight prints look pretty good. It says RT. And then the hidden lights with the Charger logo right there. Looks pretty good. Base deets, of course, trademark FCA US LLC in 2022. Suspension on that guy as well. Looks pretty good. This one was scaled. What's the scale on this one? 1/66th scale. So pretty close. Pretty close to 164. All right, next one up. This is the Lamborghini Urus. This casting's been around for quite some time. There's been many versions of this particular casting. There is the card deets for this guy. About half the size of the engine as the Charger had. Get that out of there. Plastic. There is our Urus, however you want to pronounce it. This guy does have a tow hitch, which, you know, is more play value versus function. Taillights look pretty good. This is a Lamborghini in the back. Hook assembly model. Very Lamborghini Urus-esque kind of print on the side. I think that looks pretty good. Of course, all matte black. Definitely like the look of this one. Gold Lamborghini logo in the front. Of course, lensed headlights as the usual. Really like this wheel. It's one of my favorite Majorette wheels. I think it looks really good. That wheel pretty much looks good on everything. This guy has opening doors. Again, the interior pretty well detailed up. Looks pretty good. A little bit of, you know, detail on the door panels. Little bit, not too much. Of course, this guy does have suspension as well, but just not a whole lot of movement in there. Then there's your base deets on this guy. This guy is exactly 1/64 scale, is what they claim him to be. Exactly 1/64 scale. That runs pretty good. Pretty good. All right, next one up. This is the Porsche 917. This is a relatively new casting. This was a new casting at the beginning of 2022. This one taking over gold versus the matte black. There is the card deets. 12 cylinders for sure. Still only a little bit bigger than half the size of that Charger V8 in there. Of course, makes way more horsepower. There is our 917 with the number 23 deco on the side. Does say Porsche. That is the same 3-spoke that is on the Toyota. It's just not printed up, just black. Looks pretty good. Very nice gold. I think you guys can agree that gold looks very good. Same deco they did for the red and white one. Also in the racing series, just in gold and black. So perfectly fine that they just inverted the decos. I think that's fine. Headlight prints look, or headlight details look pretty good. They are lensed headlights. I do like that look though. This guy does have an opening hatch in the back with some very flat engine details in there, which is unfortunate, which is pretty much the detail with all of the opening parts on Majorette, but does have a little bit of, you know, taillight prints in the back. Looks pretty good. And then flipping around, taking a look at the base deets. 1/60th scale here. 917 KH. Put that guy there. All right, last one in the standard 6-car set. This is the Ford Mustang GT. This is the newer casting Ford Mustang GT from Majorette. Again, there is the deets. The Charger had a massive V8. I'm not going to lie. It was enormous. Pull our Mustang out. This one also takes advantage of primary gold versus black. Kind of interesting. The black stripes are a bit of a gloss. So kind of an interesting flip take on the thing. Like this wheel a lot too. Looks pretty good. Kind of like that 6 double spoke. I'm sure they have a specific name for these wheels in the Majorette world, but we don't get them enough in the US to give them names, so we're just going to roll with it. Details on the front looks pretty good. The horse looks very, very good in silver print. I think maybe that should have been black or gold, just my opinion. But it looks very, very good. I do like the gold a lot. And then the taillights are nice. They are just silver printed instead of red, so I do like that. That looks really, really, really good. Of course, this guy has opening doors. Again, interior looks pretty good, very well detailed. Little bit of details on the door panel, just a teeny little bit. Not much. Take a look at the base deets on this guy. Also 1/64 scale, supposedly. According to Majorette, 1/64 scale on the dot. So what we're going to do is that Mustang and that Urus are supposedly exact buddies. We'll just kind of put our Porsche here because we always got to give the Porsche a little extra love. We're a little biased here. We like Porsche. But there you go. That is limited edition Series 9. There are, I think, 6 more models to the actual limited edition. But that one looks pretty cool. That one is pretty nice. I do like all the black and gold. Looks pretty good. Throw these up in the collection. A little bit bummed out that the wheels are bent on that 2000 GT. But it is what it is. It happens all the time. So we're going to roll out. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. LevelM. Peace.